Temple Grandin. The world needs all kinds of minds. You annoy the drilling. My husband's putting up drywall in the kitchen. How do her ideas aid my understanding and how people think? Well, I didn't realize that there was only three learning styles. I thought, for some reason in my mind, I thought there was more. How did it affect it? Well, I definitely think I'm a verbal learner or verbal thinker, as she put it. And I'm guessing that maybe we use all three, but maybe in different forms. So I would say me being verbal, and actually it's really funny because I'm a terrible drawer, just like she says the verbal people are. Pattern thinking would probably be my next one. I do make facilitations between different types of thinking very easily and always looking for those connections. I'm definitely her abstract thinker that she was saying the world needs less of, but she'd actually be happy to know that there's actually only 25% of the population is abstract thinkers and 75% of the world is actually concrete thinkers. And the fact that abstract thinkers, our job is to think of new ideas and new inventions, which of course is fantastic, but a concrete thinker's way of thinking is to think of more practical solutions in real time and in the real, as they are happening and as they're being seen. And of course, as we can all imagine, why we need 75% of those versus 25% of the more abstract thinkers. So Miss Grandin would be happy to know, and that's based off the work of Carl Jung, so she'd be happy to know that most of the world is not abstract thinking. So and I definitely appreciate the difference between abstract and concrete. I'm an abstract thinker, I'm an intuitive lead, and my husband is a sensory lead, and so he is definitely in real time all the time, and I definitely bounce things back off him. There is a reason I think I'm so well-rounded is because I get to bounce things off of my more sensory, less abstract thinking spouse. So the next thing is, how might these influence how you communicate? Well, knowing that there's different patterns and different people, I know with, my spouse, my family, I'm definitely a better talker. One of my two sons, there's half of us who are really good at verbalizing things and half of us that are not. And knowing how other people are thinking and how they might be processing what you're thinking might influence how you talk to them. Also, how you write to them. I think the last one, how would it relate to writing ideas? Well, the same thing, just knowing your audience, knowing that not everybody is verbal. I know with my husband sometimes, I get going and going, especially if I'm upset, and he just kind of shuts down because he can only take so much information in that I'm telling him, where he's definitely more concrete, and he'll keep going and going and doing things in the world. Carl Jung called him extroverted sensing lead, and he'll keep going and going in the world, and then I'll need a nap because I can't keep that sensory activity up that long. So it's kind of interesting. So it was interesting to see her take on the different learning styles. I definitely learned a lot about autism. That was actually probably my biggest takeaway, was how much I didn't realize that autism can have any of these sort of learning styles, but then they will pinpoint and focus on different aspects of those things. So it's more of a focused learning and less of, a big picture thinking. And she was kind of thinking, that these really concrete thinking, especially these sort of in an autistic mind, where they really focus down on certain things more intensely than just like a regular sensory person would. And that's really where the genius comes in. And the same with the learning styles, even though, somebody might be an autistic person, a savant in like music, and then maybe they weren't so much of a verbal thinker. So what did she call herself? A photorealistic thinker. So anyway, it was very interesting. Learned a lot about autism. Going into 4 minutes, I feel like I could talk about this one for a while. I really liked it. I liked her material. I learned a lot. I made a lot of abstract mental connections and learned a little bit, about somebody's ideas of why concrete thinking also definitely has a place in the world. My husband's out there doing drywall. I wouldn't be drywalling. I'm in here theorizing about stuff. So kudos to him. Kudos to her. Abstract thinkers were not that bad. But anyway, thanks for sharing. Bye.